अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Jai Baba, everybody. This morning I read a beautiful message of Meher Baba's. His message was for the children of the blind school at Worli, where he tells those kids not to be so disheartened because they cannot see this world, because he says those who supposedly see are also blind towards the reality, and which is so very true. So, in today's session, when we invite Meher Baba, I would just like to request him, dear Baba, get us closer to see you the way you really are. If not in our present life, at least show yourself in the true form when you come to receive us when we breathe our last. This is our heartfelt prayer to you, beloved Baba. Thank you. Okay, now there are a lot of things lined up. Firstly, we have Hanuman Chalisa. Hanuman Chalisa, to tell you briefly, I'm sorry, Meher Chalisa. Amongst the Hindus, they have this 40 verses, praise of the Lord, Bhagwan ki stuti jisko kehte hain. So, I would request Rakesh to play that in a minute. After which, we'll tell you a brief background about what this Mehr Chalisa is all about, and who and what and how did it happen. After that, our one and only Mr. Jimmy Mody, Dr. Jimmy Mody rather.
Jimmy Mody, yeah.
Jimmy Mody. Okay. Jimmy Mody will take over. He will do this session now and another session at 12 midnight where he's got plenty of ghost stories specially kept for 12 midnight. So I'm just kidding. But today he's going to talk about a lot of his experiences with Meher Baba. And he's been requested by various people to throw some light on ghosts. So he will be talking about ghosts as well. So this is what we've got lined up for today. Enjoy the show. If you don't like it, I promise you'll get your money back. Jai Baba. Rakesh, maybe start with the
Yeah, Sam, I'll take
module.
5 minutes. You want to say something about it? Give me 5 minutes.
Oh my God. Okay, give me 1 minute then.
Yeah.
Okay. This audio clipping was sent to me by Barizad, and unfortunately, she can't participate today because she is unwell, and my heart reaches out for her. May Baba keep his nazar on her. It goes this way. Mehr Chalisa was composed by Keshav Narayan Nigam. When Keshav Narayan Nigam read out the Mehr Chalisa to Baba for the first time, Baba was moved to hear them and asked him astonishingly, Have you composed these lines? Nigamji said, yes. Baba said, I feel touched by them. They have touched my heart today. Can you imagine someone's writing touching God's heart? I feel touched by them. They have touched my heart very deeply. Baba's whole mandali also felt greatly moved by it. This recording of Mehr Chalisa is from the Meher Prem Mela
Yeah, yeah.
of
Yeah,
Delhi
yeah, yeah, yeah.
2020 virtual program sung by Sahil Srivastava, accompanied by Akash Dubey, Nitin Dubey, Saurabh Dubey, and Anvit Dubey, the whole family of Dubeys. Folks, this, if Archana or someone knows more about Mayor Chalisa, I would like her to come in and tell us more. Mrs. Where is she gone? Anybody else wants to chip in about Mayor Chalisa? Rakesh, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Should I play?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with it then.
Yeah.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। हरि परमात्मा अल्लाह अबूर मस्त गौर यगदान जय मेहर साहिबे जमान जय जय निराली शान हो। जय भक्त उनके मस्त उनके खींच लाते जो उन्हें भूलोक पर धूल उनकी सिर लगाऊं ये लाऊं प्रेम के उनके सहारे मिहिर को मैं पाए जाऊं। जय बाबा जय अंतर्यामी जय अनंत जय जगदाधार पूर्ण ब्रह्म सनातन स्वामी अखिल विश्व के पालन। जय सौम्य मूर्ति जय शुभ पावन जय मंगलकारी भक्त जनन की आस एक जय जय अनंत लीलाधारी। युग तेरा ही धर्म सिपाही जय तप के भंडार हरे दरस मात्र से गति सुधरे हर छाए हो ही अब तुझ करे। निराकार साकार रूप जय नर नारायण दो भीतर भक्ति पूरी करके निर्गुण आए समाओ। मैं चरणन को दास तिहारो किस दिए है मनाऊं। करो कृपा ऐसी ठाकुर जी तुम सेवा को पाओ। जब जब घर निमार तुम आओ अदम उदारन स्वामी। मोही अदम को भूल न जाना हो तुम्हारे अनुगामी। तुम सेवा भक्ति दर्शन हित मैं हूँ नर कर पाऊँ। भारी प्रकाश तुम्हारो नटवर लीला देख जुड़ाऊँ। तुलसी की मैं पाऊँ भक्ति मीरा की वह मस्ती पाऊँ। झूम झूम कर नाचूं सन्मुख प्रेम के आंसू बहाऊं। भूल जगत सुख तन मन खुशी चरण टेक रह जाऊं। तुम्ही साध्य आराध्य बनो मम और कछु नहीं जाऊं। सूरदास की पाऊं रसना लीला तुम नित गाऊं। निबल जान जो बाण छुड़ाऊं ये बान रह जाऊं। कबीरदास की मिले फकीरी इस दिन अलख जगाऊं। जतन जतन से लोड़ चदरिया दस की दस परिणाम। जीवत जो काज तिहारी गति जटायु पाऊं। शांतिमयी तुम बोध मिले फिर धाम तिहारी जाऊं। सबरी के मैं बेर गिराऊं सागर दुर्गा नाऊं। आओ प्रभु जी उसी प्रेम से हारी तुम पर जाऊं। हरि अहिल्या गणिका सजना करे अजामिल भारी। वाल्मीकि रूपान भई जिन मरा मरा रट लागी। ऐसे ही भाग्य मिले मुहि बाबा एक यह वर चाहूं। बन निषाद चरणों तक पाऊं युग युग हेतु सुनाऊं। पूरी मैं बनूं पहलवान निज सिर कष्ट लगाऊं। अंजन सुत सम करूं चाकरी तुम दर्शन नित पाऊं। देव दनुज मानव ऋषि मुनि सब कार तिहारे आवे। नारद मुनि वीणा से पावन नाम तिहारो गावे। तूही ब्रह्मा तूही विष्णु शिव अनादि तूही वेदांत। तूही इंद्र बृहस्पति तूही त्रिभुवन नाथ तूही गोमा। जय सृष्टि के कर्ता धर्ता जय प्रतिपालक त्रिभुवन के। दीन बंधु ही दया सिंधु जय भक्त तुम्हारे दुर्लभ। जय प्रेम मूर्ति जय शांति मूर्ति जय दिव्य मूर्ति हे बाबा। जय पतित पावन भक्त वत्सल जय शक्ति पूज्य हे बाबा। जय अधम उदाहरण विपद विधारण तेज पुण्य अविनाशी। पावन मूर्ति पूर्ण मर्यादा जय घट घट के वासी। ऐसे ही कृपा पूर्ण तुम ऊपर विनय करो कर जोरी। मन मंदिर मम छोड़ न जाना शरण पड़ाऊं दूरी। अटल रहे मम श्रद्धा भक्ति अटल रहे यह प्रेम की ज्वाला। जब जरतिया में जल जाऊं मुझे कभी ये काम न द्वारा। उजाला पहला देह दीनी अमर सर्प सब कोई। गिर से गिर अग्नि में डालो सांझ को आज न होई। ध्रुव समझेगा अचल मिले बिन साक्षी है ध्रुव तारा। अमर मिलन हो प्रीतम तुमसे छूटे ये जग सारा। अमर मिलन हो प्रीतम तुमसे छूटे ये जग सारा। अमर मिलन हो प्रीतम तुमसे छूटे जग सारा। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार
Thank you, Rakesh. Now that the tempo has been set with this kind of upbeat, may I request Jimmy Mody to take over and take us through this journey of what is called life and life in Meher Baba's love. Jimmy Mody, all yours, sir.
Hey Baba, everybody. Nice to see you all here again. This desire to hear ghost stories, where is it really coming from? Why is there such a desire for ghost stories? I remember as a much younger man, I used to get my kicks telling really scary ghost stories to pretty young girls. And they would get all scared. And in my fantasy world, I would imagine them wanting to cuddle up to me. And that was a great pleasure for me. I don't know what pleasure the girls got out of it, but they seem to be getting. So let's for a moment reflect. Does hearing ghost stories give us anything? Any pleasure? Any sense of anything? What do we get out of hearing ghost stories? Out of knowing about ghosts?
Knowledge of the unknown.
Knowledge of the unknown. Okay. But there's so many things that are unknown to us.
Yeah, many things, but this has just got some people's fancy at the moment, so we want to hear.
Some people what?
It's got our fancy for the moment, that you could
Oh,
tell.
but that's the fancy. I'm wondering where that fancy comes from. I mean, if you could share. We'll go into it certainly, but I thought we might start by inquiring this way.
Difference between a spirit and a ghost, a good spirit and a bad ghost.
Oh, spirits are good and ghosts are bad, is it?
No, not that way. I mean, people who pass on are good people and they go, as we have been reading, to the astral world or, to the higher planes. Whereas the people who are committing suicide, in common parlance, or are getting murdered, that, they don't go up there and they hang around and, people have had all kind of experiences. So we've heard. So from you, probably we can get a more authentic view on the subject.
Well, I don't want to profess to be an authority on the subject, but I have done certain amount of training in certain areas of psychotherapy and hypnotherapy that deal in something called spirit release. In religious terms, that's exorcism. I was doing this until I got the message from Baba that I must not mess around in this sphere. So I stopped doing it. So whatever you may hear, whatever I may tell you, please do not fantasize about it. Do not fantasize about trying to practice it. Do not even try to desire it. Let me be very clear with you on that. Okay? So let us start with an understanding of the fourth plane of consciousness. It's called the threshold. It's the threshold between the subtle world and the mental world. And why has it got so much importance? Because the subtle world is called subtle because it's the world of energy. It's the world of power. And at the peak of the subtle world, you are masters of energy. You have mastered great deals, amounts of infinite energy. You can do amazing things, so-called miracles. Wouldn't you love to do that? Would you love to do that? No? Are you sure? That's good. And then when you go across to the mental world, suddenly the focus changes from power and energy to mastering the mind. First the thoughts, then the emotions and feelings. So what happens if you have not mastered your mind, but you have mastered these energies? It's like putting the controls of an atomic bomb in a child's hand. He just wants to play with it. Have gun, will travel. What's the use of having a gun if you never get to use it? In the months that I would sometimes spend living in an old cottage in Juhu Beach, I would go out early in the morning on the beach when no one is there, and I would take my father's gun. Seeing that gun there every day, I just felt somehow an internal desire wanting to use it. Now, standing on this empty beach with this loaded gun in my hand, I was wondering, what should I shoot? I didn't want to shoot another human being because that's not on, that's bad. So what should I shoot? Should I shoot one of those birds? No, I didn't want to kill a bird either. So what should I shoot? So I would see a coconut lying there in the distance, and I'd try and shoot that. And that sound, that recoil, that power gave me a great feeling. Because power does give us a great feeling, doesn't it? Look at the people who really have power. Take the example of someone like Donald Trump. He got that power through what you may call honest means, otherwise you can't get power. Out of being concerned about other people, wanting to lead other people, wanting to improve the lot of other people, he got that power. And once he had that power, suddenly he changed. He got that desire, that feeling of greatness, that false fantasy in his head. Feeling powerful feels great. And so his mind changed its focus. From focusing on the benefit of other people, it changed to focusing the benefit on yourself. And that's when he started losing his power. And that's when everyone will lose their power, when they focus on themselves. So our desire for power is endemic. And it's something that we don't even want to be aware of. Yet it is something that we most need to be aware of. We then forget all the lessons about the planes of consciousness, starting from stone, ape, human being, reincarnation, involution, and the goal being to achieve God consciousness. So I would ask myself this question, and I'm going to ask it of you. If you were to be given a choice, if God was to give you a choice to choose either or, you can have infinite power, any amount of power you want, but no knowledge. Or you can have infinite knowledge, but no power. Which would you choose? Which would you choose, guys? Honestly.
Infinite knowledge.
Knowledge.
Would you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, knowledge.
It's all easy to say that here, no? But when you actually got the thing in front of you and you are endorsed and endowed and imbued with infinite power, would you be willing to give it up for infinite knowledge?
Yes, because with infinite
want
knowledge,
power.
you have a realization that the power is, the knowledge itself is an power. And with knowledge, we can actually have an infinite power. But with an infinite power, we might not get the infinite knowledge. That realization we can have with infinite knowledge.
Okay, good. Thank you, Milind. But I have then
Jimmy?
got a question to ask you here. What you're saying then is actually, for you, infinite knowledge is only to help you to get infinite power. So infinite power still remains your goal.
No, it is not in order to achieve it because the choice is between these two. So if at all I have to achieve a power, I can achieve it either way. But if I have to choose either of this, then ultimately I'll choose knowledge because I can get both, right? I mean, if I want either of these two, initially I would want both. But if it is a choice between both of them, I will choose one so that I can ultimately achieve that too. I mean, I
You
would.
won't ultimately achieve it because the deal is that you can have infinite knowledge, but you will not get infinite power.
No, no, but with knowledge, I mean, I would realize, with knowledge, I'll realize that in having an infinite knowledge in itself is an infinite power.
But
So, if,
again, you're after power, no?
okay.
May I come in, Jimmy?
Yeah, Sam.
Honestly, if I were asked, I wouldn't want any of these two. I would just leave it to him. Whatever he wants to give, take, it's all his job. I'm no one to choose in this kind of things. Jai Baba.
Okay, Baba. Okay.
Jimmy, may I
Yes.
come in? If I
Yes.
had a choice, I would also choose neither because had I gained the infinite knowledge, I would definitely go towards infinite power, and that would mean a real bloating of my ego. So, all in all, I would fail in my goal of life. So, I'd choose for infinite love, if that's okay.
Wow.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Very well said.
Okay. Anyone else?
May I?
Yes. Yes.
Jimmy, why did you give us a choice between power and knowledge? Why not infinite bliss?
No, because the choice is between knowledge and power.
Okay, I would like to, uh, Sam, Uncle, and Archana said, not go for either, but I would like to go for infinite bliss because infinite consciousness, Maha Chaitanya, is infinite bliss. So one that would be nirvana, and that would be uh, meeting the ocean of divine consciousness. That would be going to the beyond.
Okay.
And of course, there would be stages beyond that, but nirvana is infinite consciousness where consciousness is and God is not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Roshad. Anyone else would like to offer?
I would like to say I have been very curious since I was a kid about the mysteries of life and the subtle things and the hidden things. So I always think I wish I know what is behind this. So now that you have only given two options out of multiple choice, I would take the option of infinite knowledge because of my curiosity about how everything works, how universe works, everything that I don't know, and I've always been wanting to know. So I would take infinite knowledge.
Okay. Thank you.
Would not infinite knowledge give you basically the key to open the lock to decide, what you want? You have the knowledge to decide whether you want the power or you want bliss or you want love. Knowledge is the base. So knowledge doesn't mean you will go towards power or you will go towards, something. I mean, you have the choice because you have the knowledge.
Yes, but you are given infinite knowledge in this deal on the proviso that you will not take infinite power.
Yeah, so you have the option, right? When you have the knowledge, you have the option to decide whether you want to have the power or not. What do you
You
want?
don't get the power if you have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Soma and Milind, I would just like to say that your Jimmy is saying that you're presuming that knowledge would lead to power. Don't go with that presumption. It is knowledge and knowledge alone, power and power alone. And then we talk about.
Exactly, that's what I meant.
Or it could be
You said
that
that knowledge, power.
actually it could be that you really want power, but you're saying knowledge because if you get knowledge, Through knowledge, you'll get the power. So the real goal is power.
which is a
Presumption. We have the discretion, right?
You have the power of discretion. That also is a power.
Okay, so here actually I would lose on nothing. Okay, I actually want both because definitely the choices are when the choices are between two things, they will be at equally at a very good stature. So I do not want to lose either of this. So that's why I opted for power, so that not in order to achieve a power, sorry, knowledge, not in order to lose on power, but also to have power in my kitty. So I mean that is why I want a knowledge and then I can achieve. But with power, I'm not sure whether I'll have a knowledge or no. So I given a choice, I would want both. I would not compromise on like either of this.
Right. So now the
but the
logic of
choice to have both is not the choice to have both is not there in the question that Jimmy
that's right.
posed. And the fact that infinite knowledge may lead to power is an assumption or a preposition that you are going with. One cannot go with just the question. When
Whether
there
it
is
leads
no
to or
choice,
doesn't,
how can you say that I can
whether it
choose?
leads to power or doesn't lead to power, that's not within the realm of this question.
Assuming you have power, you can use it for good purposes also. Power need not be always used for the wrong things.
Shoma. So imagine you have that power and you're going to use it for good purposes. Will that give you a sense of satisfaction
Why not?
and pleasure?
Why not?
Now, what are the words that satisfaction and pleasure would like to say?
Repeat again. I'm sorry. What?
What are the words that pleasure or satisfaction would like to say?
What are the words?
I did it for you.
Is that necessary? You can be anonymous also and do good things for people.
Anonymous means I don't tell you and others about it, but I know, I feel that I have done well for others.
Yeah, that's also true.
So I can come across and heal you, and you can feel healed. And I can give you a great big bhashan about how I'm not the healer. I'm only facilitating your own healing. But deep within me, I know and I think of myself as a healer. And I take great pride in healing and great pleasure in healing other people. Is that not my ego?
Thank you for speaking about healing, Jimmy. You said that you are a healer, but you stopped because you said Baba said not to heal. Something like that you had spoken some time back.
I don't know what's wrong with this damn thing. Can you connect me again, please?
We can hear you, Jimmy. So,
But I can't see you. Can you connect me somehow?
mm, I think Sam uncle can do that. I'm not sure. Or maybe try, leaving the meeting and joining again. That might help you. Rakesh, can you help him?
Simin is the host. Simin,
No, it's Rakesh. I'm not the host.
Okay, I'll sign out and sign in again.
but we can hear you, Jimmy.
We can see you and hear you both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
can hear
he's
you
not
and
able
see you.
to. He's not able to see us. That's the problem.
Not able to see anybody.
Because this Adobe thing has come in the middle over here, this stupid Adobe.
There are
Fine
many
now. We
mics
can
open
see.
if we cannot shut our mics.
Yeah, maybe we'll switch the mics off.
Yeah, Simin, I think you can take over. We'll all switch off our mic.
I
Wait
think
a minute, I've
everybody
got
is.
something here.
It's
Okay,
an
guys,
interactive session. No, that's why.
can you see me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Jimmy, this is Ram.
Yes, Ram.
Everyone seemed to be assuming that. Through knowledge they can acquire power. But if I have power, I also have the power to acquire knowledge.
They also have the power to.
Don't I? If I have power to train, and part of it, I also should be able to acquire knowledge. So I don't know which one I would pick. Not sure.
Question is, which one do you want? Do you want to have power for the sake of power?
I don't know what I, I I don't know what I want. I mean, all I know is eventually it will be nice if I can be God realized, but I don't know when it's going to happen.
The
So
idea of
whenever it
being
happens,
God
it will happen.
realized,
So be it.
the idea of being God
Until
realized
then,
is a very powerful idea. Can you imagine being God? Wow. What power.
yeah, that's what we strive for, right? Don't we? We want to be merged, one to be one with the God and be God.
Why do we want to be one with the God? Because it's a very powerful position to have.
I'm not too sure about that, whether it's powerful or not powerful. I mean, I don't know what power, is, but what all I know is I came from God. I just want to go back to God. That's all. Whatever that means, whatever. Uh, just merge, be one, become one with Him, and never ever have to come back again.
Would anyone else like to offer a comment?
May I say? Hello? Where is Yabana? Hello? મારું કોણ છે હા
Anybody else would like to come forward and say something? I think it's very important. The reason why I'm saying this, yes, go ahead, Parvez.
whether you talk of knowledge or we talk of power, both are selfish. When we talk ultimately of God realization, that selfishness should go from us. And that selfishness itself is in itself not desirable. So therefore, I think both are not wanted. When you're looking for your ultimate aim is to God realization. So if we have this, either of the two, even both the choice, or if you, then I don't think you're worthy of becoming in union with God. That's what we are saying.
Okay. Thank you, Parvez. Interesting point. Well taken.
Jai
I
Baba.
want Jai Baba, Dinesh.
So long as one is in sleep, whatsoever he chooses, knowledge or power, things will be same. So
So if
to
one is
have,
in sleep, how do you make a choice?
yeah, grace is very important.
Yes, grace is important.
Yeah, Baba is grace.
But the important thing for us now, where we are in our gross consciousness, is to become aware of our desires. Brutally, unscrupulously, honestly aware of our desires. Because it is our desires that separate us from God realization. The mental plane of mental consciousness, as mental sanskaras, are given to us to enable us to master our minds, to master our desires. And the world is progressing further and further away from mastering desires. And the desire for power is fragmenting and destroying this world, destroying the community, destroying the country, destroying our families. And we are not even bothering to make an effort to become aware of it. So let's see what happens when you get attached to some desire or the other. so desperately attached that you just cannot let go. So now for a little moment, I'm going to cruise away from God Speaks and Meher Baba and go into the area of learning and training which I went through in my hypnotherapy courses, in particular on spirit release. We have actually a full workshop on spirit release. And the first thing I learned is that there are different types of spirits. But two broad categories are dark force entities is one, and the other are spirits that are just roaming around, waiting to find an entry point into a human being. Earthbound entities, they're called. Apart from full spirits, there are also fragments. And these fragments or spirits will come, and when they possess you, they enter your auric field. You know, each of us have an aura. There are people with certain camera and software equipment that can take pictures of your aura. It's called Carillion photography. It's available some places in Bombay, don't ask me where. So, how does that happen? Well, for example, whenever you feel fear, your aura opens up. Whenever you feel pain, whenever you injure yourself, your aura opens up. So these are likely places and moments where an entity can enter you or a fragment can enter you. So you need to keep yourself protected from psychic attacks, as they are called. Much before I learned anything about this, but I was still very well into Meher Baba and loving Meher Baba, I had an attraction to learn more about the occult. The word occult means hidden knowledge. And so I saw in London when I was there, roaming around the streets, a big signboard that said Spiritual Association of Great Britain. So I was attracted, I went in, my curiosity took me in. And there was a counter, busy with 2 or 3 people. I asked them what was going on here. They told me various activities. One of them was I could make an appointment with a reader who would then go into a trance or something and give me a message from the spirits of the other side. So I said, wow, I must try this. So I went, took an appointment. I remember this was a lady. I was alone in a room with her. She chanted something, went into a trance. And then she told me something that made me feel extremely flattered. She told me that I am extremely protected. I have got all kinds of spirits, high-level spirits around me, and they are all protecting me. And nothing could ever enter me. So feeling really flattered, I left that place. But somehow I've left it also with a conviction inside which came from somewhere else, I don't know where, that I felt that my faith and my love for Meher Baba was of such an order that really I felt extremely protected and safe, and nothing could dent that. Nothing could dent my love and faith for Meher Baba. So I went through life went to Bombay, where I met another fellow. I was sitting at home. I think it was a weekend. I was alone with just a servant there. And I got a call from the security downstairs to say that some Baba kind of Swami kind of character wanted to come up and meet me. So again, my desire for the occult got sparked. I said, okay, let me speak to him. So he came on the intercom and he told me he seemed to know about me, which again caught my curiosity. He knew about my uncle who was a big shot in Tatas. That caught my curiosity. And he then told me that my uncle had sent him to see me. As unlikely as that was, I felt flattered and very, very curious. So I let him come up. So in comes this fellow in an orange saffron robe with a bandana kind of hanky tied around his head, blue hanky with white polka dots. He sits down, he talks to me, and he tells me that someone has lagaud nazar on me and that he can remove it. So I'm curious about this fellow. My curiosity gets widened. I want to know more about him and how he's going to do this. So I agree. But I think to myself, there will be energies flying around. I don't want those energies to infect my living room or my bedroom or any other common rooms. So I brought him into my kitchen and we sat on the kitchen floor. He sat in front of me. And then he started his thing. To try and dispel the spirit that he felt was in possession of me. He asked me to say some prayers and repeat some mantras that he had crafted or that he gave me, which I didn't know what they meant. And as I did so, I asserted to myself very clearly that he cannot do anything to me. Meher Baba is with me. I am absolutely 100% safe. So he did his mambo jumbo and then got up to leave. And he left. And when my wife heard about this, she threw a fit and felt someone had left a spell on me. And at that time, there was a guy in Bombay who was very famous for his spiritual occult knowledge and powers, a Muslim guy. I think his name was called Khan Sahib. He was called the next day to dispel. And he tried, and he said that, no, this guy seems to be quite safe. So I found myself going in and out of these being safe, not safe, being safe, not safe kind of doors. And it just asserted for me my belief, made my belief much, much more firm that nothing could enter me. Years later, I was sleeping. It was a Sunday morning, and in the bed next to me was my wife. Each of us had our own bedside table. I wake up earlier, call for the maid to bring out my tea and her tea. She came in with 2 cups of tea. She put 1 cup of tea on my bedside table and another cup of tea on her bedside table. And then she went out. I was beginning to doze off again when suddenly I noticed and heard something strange. The cup and saucer of tea on my bedside table had begun rattling like this. Just like that, just rattling away. I looked at it, looked around, couldn't see anything. Looked at her bedside table, her cup was quiet. Still, only my cup was rattling away like this. I then got the realization that these spirits try to enter you by frightening you first. And once you are in fear, your aura opens up and they can get in. And when this realization came to me, I was suddenly filled with a surge of anger towards the spirit. So I looked around to the spirit and told it to fuck off. My cup stopped rattling instantly. I then realized the antidote to psychic attack is faith and love, born faith. The minute your faith is shaken, you're open to psychic attack. At least so was I. Years later, I went into training in hypnotherapy where I learned about spirit release. And I guess you people are here to listen to ghost stories, whatever that means. Because the ghost stories that I have are stories of patients, clients that have come to me that were possessed. I don't know how they would come to me. Somehow they were just sent to me. It was as though some unseen, unknown hand was guiding them to me. So I remember in one case a young girl, a pretty young girl, who would come to me all the way from Bombay every week. She came to me with a complaint that she was possessed, that she couldn't have any boyfriends who stayed with her because the entity that possessed her would chase them away. And she lay on the couch as I tried to work with her. And as I did that, I noticed the entity would move up and down her body, occupying different parts of her body. Her eyes would go up, become white, and then the entity would start speaking to me. The entity tried its hell, like hell, to scare me and frighten me, instill fear in me. And these entities are extremely cunning and clever. So it tried to do this by speaking to me in a language that I just did not know. It was Arabic or Swahili or some language. But I noticed, I was able to observe that the entity would speak to me every time after I spoken to her. But it would speak to me in this language, trying to scare me, throw me off guard. And I realized that if I got thrown off guard, that would be the end of the game. So I decided not to get thrown off guard. And I tried to work with her session after session. It was very difficult. The entity refused to leave. Once you manage to get the entity to start talking to you, your job now is to try and convince the entity to let go and go into the universe, where it can evolve and become part of universal consciousness. But the entity is brainwashed, most often usually by a tantric, who instills the fear of the devil into this entity. And the entity is very scared of divulging the tantric or disobeying the tantric. So you know all this as you work with them. So I started to talk to that entity to try and convince it to go up. First, I had to convince it that a higher universe or God existed, that light existed, because these entities, dark force entities, as they're called, don't believe that light exists, don't believe that God exists. They're brainwashed this way by their tantric masters. So, through the process of hypnosis, I guided my client into a dark tunnel and asked her to keep walking through the dark tunnel. Keep walking, 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 until she saw a dim light at the end of the tunnel. That she should see a dim light at the end of the tunnel was actually, in fact, nothing more than a hypnotic suggestion for her and the entity. After some minutes, she saw that dim light. I asked her to proceed closer. As she proceeded closer, the light became bigger. I then told her and asked her and the entity that was in her, so you see, I have proven to you that light does exist. And the tantric master of yours has been lying to you to keep you captive in this body and to deprive you of higher consciousness and God realization. It was only then that the entity suddenly wanted to be released from her, which I then proceeded to help it to do. In another similar case of a young girl, pretty young girl, the entity refused to go. I was not able to convince it. And then one day she came to see me for her usual appointment. Instead of lying down, she sat in front of me at my desk. By now, I had enough expertise to know how to start talking to the entity, even without hypnosis. So I started talking. As I started talking, the entity started taking over her body. Her eyes went up, the whites of her eyes started showing, and she started swaying from left to right. So I asked her, rather I told her, you know what? This entity is not going to go because you don't want to let this entity go. You are holding on to this entity. And I don't know where these thoughts came from. And you're holding on to this entity because this entity is masturbating you. And you're getting great pleasure in this collusive partnership arrangement you have with this entity. So you don't want to let this entity go. This entity is giving you masturbatory pleasures. Suddenly she stopped swaying. Tarak, her eyes opened. And her personality took complete control. She says, my God, yes, you're quite right. Nobody's ever told me that before. So then I knew that we had set the ground for really working with her and that entity. It's not a pleasant job. It's a terrible job working in this way. In a third case, a young mother came She didn't lie on the bed, she sat on it and looked at me with very evil eyes. The entity was present. And then she had long hair. She started waving like this. And as her hair waved round and round, I felt waves of toxic energy hitting me, like I was standing on, being hit by the waves on a beach. Her family was terrified because when she was in the state, she wanted to kill her children. So yes, I can say to myself, wow, Jimmy, fantastic. You are a killer of entities. I can do it. But that doesn't give me pleasure anymore somehow. That sense of power has waned on me. And when Baba said to me very clearly, leave it alone. And then Sadhguru, when I met him, Jaggi Vasudev, also told me with a big frown on his face not to get into this energy work. I stopped it completely. Think of it. The ego is so silent, so mafia-like, so clever, that without you knowing it, without you being conscious, it can build up for you a fantasy of yourself, which is not real. I've seen so many healers, I got to meet so many healers, and they would all lecture me on how they don't take the credit for healing. But then I noticed how pleased they felt every time they healed someone, and how morose they felt every time they didn't. So please don't try this. Stay away from this. We have got a path to follow. Baba has shown us that there's a path for us to follow, a very clear path for us to follow. Let's focus on that. We don't have the knowledge to follow this path. People would say, but Jimmy, why are you leaving it? You're doing such noble work. You're helping humanity. And I would say, wow, I'm helping humanity. Wow, damn good, yeah. Look at my ego. Can you become aware of your ego? Because let me tell you, I'm 100% sure that you are not entirely aware of your ego. You might be to some extent, but not entirely. So let us focus on the planes of consciousness where we are and on working through the sanskaras. And forget all this stuff. Okay? Any questions? Any comments?
So why did you stop healing? That was also bad for the ego, therefore?
Yes, very bad. Because if you're a healer, subconsciously you get a sense of power. Makes you feel special. Not everybody can do healing, right?
Correct.
So they feel. Although actually everybody can do healing. But what would happen to my market if everybody could do healing? I'd be out of a job. So it makes me feel good and special to be seen as a healer. So I come into a room full of people. Ah, healer, he's a healer, he's a healer. Ah, wow, fantastic.
But
I am a healer. I won't say it because it's not nice to say. I won't admit to it, not even here. But it does give a pleasure. What is that pleasure? Is it not an ego pleasure? Do you want that really? It's very simple. It's very simple. If you want to learn, then don't start with the attitude, I already know. The I already know attitude is the ego attitude. The I already know attitude is the ego attitude. Instead, try to be a little humble and say, I want to learn. I don't know. Then you're open to learning. In the first case, you're a fixed mindset person. In the second case, you're a growth mindset person. In the first case, you've got a monologue mind. In the second case, you've got a dialogue mind. You choose which one of the two you want to be. Yes? Anybody has something to say? Dilshad?
Jimmy, when you say this ego that comes to you as a healer, now even in case of
Someone saying something?
Roshni Bana's audio was on. Even when it comes to people, professions like doctors, they are also healing. Or
Yeah.
for that matter, any job. A journalist who does a great newscast, or a panelist who gives great insights.
Or a
Anything,
psychotherapist.
and any job that is well done, one would have one's ego. So how does one? I mean, how does one relate to Baba's planes of consciousness? Since you ended saying that let's work on what we are, because ego is going to come anyway. Today's world also strives for perfectionism, professionalism, excellence. The more we want to excel, the more ego is going to come play.
Yes, so does that validate today's world and make it a good world to live in? The point is, you want to learn to become better, whatever you're doing. Isn't it so?
Yes.
So you can, when you're having a discussion with someone, or when you're giving therapy to someone, or someone is consulting you, you can let that person know or feel that you have all the answers. Doctors like to do that. Yet, actually, doctors are oftentimes very secretly helpless. Would they ever admit to being helpless? No, never. So if you don't allow yourself to be open, how will you learn? For me, learning something new every day about the mind, about the spirit, gives me joy. I don't teach it to you. At least I wouldn't like to be teaching it to you. I would rather be sharing it with you. That's all. And in that process, I would like to learn something from you in terms of your experience, your mind. See how our God Speaks and Beams work, discussions, readings have been conducted. Quite open to the dialogue, inputs, the comments from everybody. And have we not learned from that? Have we not grown from that? I could sit on a pedestal and say, oh, you shut up, you don't know anything. No.
May I?
Yes, Roshni?
Yeah, but why do you think only from your own point of view? Look at the people you have given happiness to, you have healed so many people. So why don't you think from that angle? Then where is your ego? Your ego doesn't come, that doesn't matter in that case. You have helped so many people. So that is a happiness.
Roshni,
yes,
it's an interesting point of view you have raised,
yeah,
and a good point of view, thank you.
yes,
Now, if I think that I have helped so many people, okay,
yeah,
then I becomes the doer. And then I take pleasure in having done all this That is my ego.
Yes, but then you have done good for so many people.
Good
So
or
so
bad,
many.
it's good or bad, it's my ego.
But
I can
then,
think that
okay,
I can think that I can get pleasure by seeing other people happy and growing from
yeah,
their knowledge,
yeah,
which they may be getting some of it from me and some of it from other people.
yeah. But
And I have
it's
to give
like
them
a
credit. I have to give you all credit for
yes,
accepting the knowledge. You could
yes.
resist it.
It's like a doctor who performs a successful operation on a very sick patient and cures him. That is definitely something good that you're doing, isn't it?
There's no doubt that there's something good that you're doing.
But
Yeah.
can we
I'm not
apply?
denying that,
What? I can't.
right? But the point is that do I need to necessarily take the credit for it?
No, no. But then,
I can say to myself that I learned so much from Roshni
yeah.
when I was helping her, when I was doing this operation on her, and so many other people that were there with me helping me with the operation.
So then, where is the point where the ego doesn't come only? No, it is just a very happiness that you share with the patient
But if it
or the
is
person.
that, if
Huh?
it is that, if it's a sharing,
Huh?
then wonderful.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to make. That
Huh.
why ego may not come into the picture.
If I'm sharing, it's wonderful.
Yeah, that is what I mean. Thank you.
I'm not teaching. I'm not instructing.
Oh,
Jim,
but you have.
Yeah.
I just want to ask a question. This
Yes.
is Avi Dastu speaking.
So I can see.
Yeah. I just want to ask, have you ever tried, you or anyone ever tried keeping the word I out of any conversation that we have in this world? I tried it for a little while and I found it impossible. I could not refer to anything without the I. And it was very difficult. And I understand where you come from, the ego point of it. But have you experienced, can you tell us, is it possible to leave the I out?
It depends on how you use the I.
Okay.
In your mind. What your mind's attitude is towards the I. Like Roshni was pointing out, are we sharing or are we teaching? I am sharing or I am teaching. I am the teacher is the I that I do not want to use. I'm sharing what I know is the I that I'd like to use. Because if I share over here, like we have seen in this group, many members here will tell you, we have all shared and we've all grown from the sharings of others.
That's right.
So that's wonderful.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Can we apply?
Sorry?
Can we apply Baba's maxim? Real happiness lies in making others happy. In that other
Exactly.
point.
Very good, Dinesh. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Real happiness lies in making other people happy, not yourself happy. Very good. Any other questions?
So the question again begs to be asked that if you are making others' life happy and others' life healthier by following this exorcism or whatever you call it, how does it not say that you're being selfish by not doing it?
See, with the case of exorcism, you're dealing with a field of knowledge that is called hidden knowledge, occult knowledge. This is a knowledge that is, you require such a high level of knowledge over here. I would expect that you would need to be at least a perfect master, if not more. And if you're not, and you still try to dabble in it, then it's the ego wanting to feel like it's a perfect master. And so it's dangerous because you don't have knowledge and you're acting as though you do. It's like when we judge others. Don't we love judging others? We love comparing others to ourselves. We love judging others. We love labeling others. Who are we to label others? What knowledge do we have? Do we have the knowledge, the competency to judge others, to know other people? We don't even know ourselves. How can we know others? Yet, we love doing that. Donald Trump is a jackass. Judgment. Etc., etc. All these are judgments. Good judgments, bad judgments. Judgments are judgments. Once you make a judgment, you made a conclusion. What that says to your mind is your mind closes down and doesn't need to be open to learn anything. When you make a conclusion, you're saying, I know. You're not saying, I want to know. So we should avoid judgments, we should avoid conclusions. We should be very careful that we act in consonance with our level of knowledge, our limited consciousness. First, enhance the consciousness, then act in accordance. Right?
Thank you.
Meher Baba knows all this and he's warning us.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
There should be balance between being and knowledge.
Can you explain that?
There is a level of being and there is a level of knowledge.
Okay.
So level of being is like we can say level of consciousness.
Okay.
Okay. And knowledge, that level of knowledge. So as knowledge grows, consciousness should grow one step forward.
So knowledge cannot overtake consciousness.
No, knowledge will never. Knowledge will never. So level of being should always be, there should always be balance between level of being and a level of knowledge.
Okay.
If there is a level of knowledge is very low, then it is lopsided. Personality also we can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dinesh. Anyone would like to comment on what Dinesh has said?
Sorry, I have one question. Sorry, Soma is there. I'll come later.
Go ahead. Dilshad, I'll ask after you. Dilshad, go ahead. I'll ask after you.
पहले तुम में रह जाएंगे नवाब साहब. Okay, Jimmy, I totally agree, or I mean, I don't know what to, but I endorse what you say that Baba has been very clear when it comes to using the subtle energies. I'm convinced, but as yet I see many people from our own Baba group who do perform Reiki. I have also learned Reiki. And there are people who have, read Nan Emriger's book, which I have not, and come to Baba through that, which is again in the domain of occultism or subtle field. So what would you say? Because most of the time I see people being very diplomatic about it. See, there can be, it's either that you accept that subtle energy can be used and should be used, or don't use it at all. That's how I see it, that, it's easy to sit on the fence.
But each one has got their own journey, Dilshad. We have to allow them to use and go through their own journey, whatever it is. Each one has got their own diverse and different sanskaras that they have to work through. Sanskaras that blind them from reality. So if they want to know reality, they have to work through those sanskaras. They have to overcome those hurdles. We cannot do it for them, nor can we judge them. I cannot say which level you're in, or that I'm at a higher or lower level than you. I cannot say that.
So as a lover of Baba and as a devoted I mean, I won't say preacher, but I don't know what as somebody who uses Baba's words to in his own life, would you say that it's okay to use Reiki or use auto writing or auto suggestions and all that?
See, I can only speak to you in terms of myself. I cannot tell you whether you should do it or should not do it. That's for you to decide. So I can't preach to you, I can't teach to you. I can only share with you my own experiences. And in my own experiences, I have found that there is no way that I can tackle the hidden, subtle, guerrilla-like nature of my ego. So it's better not to get involved in doing Reiki or pranic healing, where I'm also a master. And I don't need Reiki or pranic healing. Like I told you in last Thursday, when I was telling you my stories, I've been initiated in some energies, which I can use even subconsciously. And as I say it, I can feel great pride building up in me. Wow, Jimmy, go for it, man. Tell them about it. I can feel my ego. Because I've developed a great sensitivity to my ego. And for the last 15 years, at least, I would say I've had an online battle with my ego every day. But I must say one thing before we end, which will be in about a few minutes' time. I must say that none of these powers compare in the slightest bit with the power of love. Learning to love has become my life goal. Learning the wisdom of love has become my mission. Not teaching it, learning it has become my mission. And the miracles that I experienced going to Mehrabad, some of which I've talked to you about, some of which are in my book. Okay. We all talk about miracles with Meher Baba. We call them miracles. But I began to realize actually there's no such thing as a miracle. There is a natural order of the universe that lies far beyond anything we can see, because our limited consciousness prevents us from seeing. And this order of the universe has something to do with them. I would call it the energies of love, which are the energies of coming together, of integration, of reaching out to each other. There is no energy, according to me, in my limited experience, that is greater than, more powerful than the energy of love. And that would be the biggest, most amazing, outstanding discovery any of you could make in your lives. So with that, I thank you all and hand over the baton of the thing to our cherished friend, Sam Patel.
One small question, Jimmy, connected to Reiki, which Dilshad asked. Recently, there was a small debate where somebody said that people who are healing, and a lot of people are going towards healing nowadays, should do it as a charity, you know. Whereas somebody else said that no, if you heal, you must take energy exchange, which money is probably one of.
I'm very familiar with these discussions.
Which is the truth?
Both are bullshit.
Okay.
If I do it as a charity, I am doing charity. Do you understand? I am doing charity.
Ego.
Not only am I doing charity, but I go into the slums and I heal people. You go into the slums, Jimmy. Wow. You heal people. Wow. You are a true sevak. Bullshit. And I take money. Oh, you must take money. Because now let's think, going to the slums and not taking money, or doing healing and not taking money. How do I earn a living? How do I make money? So let's think very cleverly. Or quickly, let's think. Ah, yes. You know, you must take money, because money also becomes an energy exchange. Oh, very good. I need energy exchange. Yes, so I'll take money. It's all bullshit, yeah. You're fooling yourself. You know that your ego is getting flattered either way. Be honest. At least to yourself, within yourself, be honest.
No, but just asked.
Don't tell anybody else, but at least be honest to yourself. No? Okay. So with that, if there are no more questions, leave you all and love you all and hand over the controls to our dearly beloved Sam Patel. Sam Patel, are you awake?
Yep.
Can someone give Sam Patel a nudge?
Archana, you want to say something?
Yeah,
Huh?
yes, Sam, Jai Baba. This is
Jai Baba.
related to the Meher Chalisa that we played right in the beginning. There is one stanza which says, "Main charanan ko das tiharo, nis din yeh manaऊं, karo kripa aisi ठाकुर जी, tov seva ko paऊं." The meaning is, I am a slave at thy feet. Night and day, I long for naught else. Save thy grace to so descend upon me, Lord, that I may serve thee. So I would kind of relate this to whatever Jimmy has said.
Beautiful.
That I think that balance we were all talking about would be possible only if His grace descends.
Beautiful. Thank you, Archana.
That's all. Thank you.
Beautiful.
In closure, I would like to say, like Jimmy pointed out earlier, we all have our own sanskaric build-up. The Lord, Meher Baba, has his own ways of attracting us to him, be it through channeling, be it through auto writing, Reiki, there's that, blah, blah, blah. There are all these avenues. He has a right to access all these avenues. Having realized him or having learned about him, the way I see it, or I would like to express it, is these are all crutches which you hold to go towards him. Once you reach the threshold of the samadhi, the crutches should go away. Then it is you and him, you and him. No Reiki, no Peiki, no nothing. This is my understanding from all the years that I have been seeing things happening all around. And I would, by the same tone, I would like to add that there are more people come to Meher Baba through reading Nan Umriga's book than through the existence of Meher Baba Center or anything. But there are very few who have stuck on. It's like, you know, when you filter the chai, coffee, whatever, the rubbish just goes away. So this is what it is. And of course, there's no time today, but I would briefly, very briefly, I would like to narrate an incident which was told to us at one of our Thursday meetings. Many, many years ago, there was a gentleman called, I think, Kunalu Bandelu, something like that. That was his name. And he lived somewhere in Villapale. And every Thursday when he would go back, he saw one fellow following him. And after 4 or 5 consecutive visits and his observations that this fellow was following him, one day he accosted that fellow and asked him, okay, who are you and what are you trying to do? Why are you following me? And that fellow confessed and told him, I'm a tantric. And every Thursday when you come back and get off from the train, I feel that you have come back with a lot of treasure. Khajana was the word he used. And he says, I feel thrilled to just keep following you till you reach your home or whatever. I just feel very good, a very good sensation. So my dear friends, we really don't know what happens to us at Meher Baba's, under Meher Baba's Chhatra Chaya or his umbrella or whatever you call it. We really don't know. And what I like the most about Meher Baba is he said, I will take you all blindfolded so that you don't get mixed up in all this mumbo jumbo. And when you arrive at your destination, the curtains will be drawn open and you merge with him. May Baba do that to all of us, each and every one of us, those who are listening to this, those who are not listening, those who are followers of Meher Baba, those who are not followers, every creature on this earth deserves his attention and gets it also. Until we meet again next Thursday, goodbye.
Sam, I'd like to say something.
Sorry, go ahead.
It is about tantric since you mentioned it. I would like people to have a clear understanding of what is tantric. Tantra was actually a science or an art or a technique that was developed to be used only for achieving samadhi, God realization. But the reputation it has got through the years is a bad reputation because it has been largely misused by everybody, because it involves the use of powers, occult powers. It has been largely misused about. But that is not real Tantra. I just want you all to know that. Thank you
very much, Jimmy.
Love you all.
Okay, folks. I hope all this sharing has brought us an inch closer to the Lord's feet. That is all I pray for. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Baba ki jai.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you all. Love you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Hope everybody enjoyed.
And see you tomorrow.
Very much.